We're going to be going over my garage and what it looks like with all the tier 10s that I have in there right now. Now, as you can see, I have 16 of them. I actually have 22 or 23. I've sold the ones that I don't play, but I will be buying them back. It's just how it is right now. These are the main ones that I play. I play a lot more tanks that are lower tier than tier 10. I don't play tier 10 strictly all the time, but when I do, these are the 16 that I like the most. Um, Not really like the most, but the ones that I play the most. I do have the IS-4, the T62, the T92, the Waffentrager E100, and there's another one. There's another one that I don't have in my garage now. There's one that I'm missing. The FV215B. Yeah, I don't play that thing at all. So, probably why I forgot about it. I don't like that thing. I'm working on getting the Super Conqueror and the Stridsvagn 103 and the Kranwagen right now. That's three more that I'm getting ready to get. So right now, here's the M48A5 patent. It used to be just the M48 patent, but now the new update gave it a new model, a new HD model, and redesignated it as the M48A5. I like this, what it looks like now. It's got that spotlight thing on the top of the gun, on the gun mantlet. It's got the two M60s. It's got a bunch of stuff around the turret and everything like that. I just like this model overall, what it looks like. It's still the same tank. It just looks a little bit different. Moving on next to the T57 Heavy. I've had this tank for a very long time. I got 1.1 million experience on it. Now you'll see some of these tanks, they don't have a lot of experience on them, or the experience looks kind of weird. Not, no, 1.1 million, but it's sometimes when I convert XP, it pulls them off of random tanks, so that's why some of them are lower than others, and for some reason picks certain tanks over other ones too. So you'll see that later when I get to the Death Star and how much experience is on that. But this is the T57 Heavy. I've had this, like I said, for a very long time. Like within a week of when it first came out, I grinded and got it, and it's pretty good. I like it a lot. It can melt people with its autoloader. Moving on next to the T110E5. I've also had this for a long time. I think this was either my first or second American tier 10 tank, or yeah, first tier 10 tank that I got. Mark of Excellence on it as well. Most of these tanks, I think all of the American tier 10s I have Marks of Excellence on. I don't remember which ones I don't, but all of the American ones that I have do. Um, I don't have the Sheridan yet. I'm at tier 9 on that as well, so currently working on that too, so I'll have to be playing a lot more. I'm not really in no rush to get it either. So the T110E3, had this thing for a very long time as well. Mark of Excellence on it too. Tank Destroyer line leading up to this is very fun, but this is a very good Tank Destroyer, worth getting. Totally recommend getting it too if you want something with a lot of armor and a very big gun. Here's the T110E4. As soon as this tank was released, not long after, I went after it and got it. Mark of Excellence on it too. Same gun as the E3. Less armor, but it is still got a lot of armor on it. You can't turn its turret all the way around. It's only left or right 90 degrees, but handles more like a heavy tank than it does a tank destroyer, really. And here's the Chieftain. Don't have the 215B, and I might as well count the Conqueror as a tier 10 since the Super Conqueror is out now, but working on getting that. This tank got released. I immediately researched it with all the XP that was on my Conqueror and fell in love with it immediately with its amazing 120mm gun, its armor, and everything like that. So moving on next to the FV215B183, my most played tank in the game with 3.2 million experience on it alone. I don't even know how many games I have in this thing played. It's an insane amount. I'm just going to check it real quick. Pushing at 3K, got 3,500 destroys, 1,479 victories, 51%. 66 damage standing on it right now. It has dropped. I was at 75, almost 80. Survived 1,100 of those games. moving on, as you can see, uh, it did get a model change a few updates back, so it looks slightly different from what it used to when the game first came out. Next is the E50M, one of my favorite medium tanks in the game because of the armor and how fast it goes, and you can ram people. It's got a very good 105. It's just a sleek looking tank. I really like it a lot. Um, Definitely worth getting. Definitely. And moving on next to the Mouse, the tank that a lot of people know me for playing because I made those videos about it. Um, Not much to say really. You already know this is the big monster tank. I think it's kind of funny too because when I started putting emblems on the flags and everything like that, I have the Jolly Roger flag. That's the same tattoo that I have, so I put it permanent on the mouse. So that's what it looks like here. Moving on over, Mark of Excellence on it as well. E100, the first German heavy tank that I got. I mean, that was the only one too. So the mouse or the PZKW wasn't out yet. This is what it looks like on here with the gigantic muzzle brake. It's got some dings in the turret right there, some chunks taken out. Um, really like this tank. Everybody was scared of it when it first came out. It's still very good at what it does, and definitely worth grinding to get. Moving on, next is the PZKPF W7. Um, This has got a 128 millimeter gun, not the same as the mouse. This has more pin than the mouse and the E100 at 258. It does 560 on average. It has a lot of armor. The upper plate's strong, the turret's strong. The new model is what this is. It has a muzzle brake and some tracks added to the side of the hull, and some stuff, some stuff around the turret. It's got 2,500 health. All of the tanks from Germany, all the heavy tanks have at least 2,500 health. This is the lowest hit points for any of the heavy tanks for Germany at tier 10. I mean, out of the three, but it still has 2,500. It's a good tank, worth getting. It's very fun to play. Next is a Jagdpanzer U100, my first tier 10 tank destroyer, my first tier 10 overall. I saw this thing and I was like, I gotta go get it. The gun, it just looks crazy looking, so I went and got it, and it was worth getting. I love this tank. I'll never sell it. It's never leaving the garage. It's got a lot of armor. It's huge, gigantic gun. Definitely worth getting if you haven't got it already. And the Grill 15, I got this when it came out. Mark of Excellence on it as well. It's a tall tank. It's the long boy with that gigantic 150 millimeter gun. Fast tank. Recently made a video on it. Probably should go watch it, and you'll see how this tank plays. Next is the IS-7. And this tank is fun to play as well. This is the new model. I mean, it got changed a while back, but the machine gun used to be on top of the stick, standing straight up, but it's not anymore. But this is what it looks like here. Mark of Excellence on it as well, with that impenetrable turret that it has. Next is the 121, and I think that's the last tier 10 that I have in the garage as of right now. I grinded for this thing when it came out and didn't even know that I had more than enough to research it off the tier 9 because I like playing the tier 9 so much. Just happened to go to the garage or the tech tree and noticed that I could have researched it almost 50,000 XP before I checked it. So then I picked it up, started playing it, and fell in love with it because it is a very fun tank to play for me. You side scrape in it, it's got a good turret. Upper plate's kind of but other than that, still pretty good. It's the only medium tank with a 122 millimeter gun. But that is all I have in my garage right now. I have 52 vehicles, but all of them are either, tier 9 and below. But these are just the tier 10s that I have right now. I have 22, like I said, but I have sold a few of them. It's just T92, T62, IS4, the Object 268, and the FV215B, and the Waffentrager. I actually have 23 tier 10s, not 22. I have 23 tier 10s, and These are just the ones that I play the most. I will be getting them all back. I just need to sit down and just grind out a lot, like 35 million silver to get them. But other than that, guys, I will see you later.